Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for your love and your support. Wow, amazing people. Thank you so much, and I am super grateful. So today let's answer some questions, and I promise to give my sincere answer and sincere answer only. But before we dive right into today's video, guys, permit me to address this stuff one time and one time only. If you watch my vlogs, consistently, and if you listen closely, you will notice that I am one grateful person, not just to those close to me, but for those that even render services to me, particularly my market vlog. You would hear me thanking those that are selling to me. Now, me, they buy something, I mean, they say thank you, right? So let's say, for example, my husband, who is providing for us constantly, paying for school fees, pay for rent, and I decide to appreciate him here on my YouTube channel. Did you know that a whole lot of people, or let's say majority, they find it very offensive? Like, I had one or two comments talking about, oh Gloria, you're always mentioning your husband, anything my husband this, anything my husband this, kilo day. I even had to block some people off my channel. Now, it doesn't have to be like that. Do you know why? Because I am not hurting anybody whatsoever. When I appreciate my husband, it doesn't have to bother you at home because you are sitting right at home or in your office watching me. What I do should not be bothering you like that because it is not that serious. Normally, I am just a grateful person, not just to my husband. Just imagine, my husband paid 836,000 naira the other day for school fees for two children, and you expect me not to even thank him like openly? So why do you guys find that very offensive? But the thing is, it's not as if I am stopping anytime soon, because I am not. So I would suggest for you to block me, for you not to be hearing my husband all the time, because I am not stopping anytime soon. I know I am not hurting you or anybody in general. Now, let's take a look at the question of the day. So 3 days ago, I dropped a Q&A on my community tab. I told you guys to ask me some questions. I have about 50 questions here, or 14, which of course I'm going to be answering. So let's take a look at the first one. How do you feel starting life in Nigeria without your husband with you? It's been so hard, I can't lie. Now, we always talk about us, the adults, but how about the children? Have we looked into it? Did you know I find my kids always asking me questions as to when daddy would be coming back, as to where daddy is and whatnot. Even to the point when they are calling, that's the discussion of the day. Daddy, when are you coming back? Daddy, where are you? They always mention this because they still don't understand that daddy have to remain back where he is and we are here. For my kids, it wasn't easy for them, but at the end of the day, they are trying to adapt. Now, personally, I would say it was a lot for me to handle, to the point I even broke down in tears and I was crying. Reason being that there are some things that my husband used to do for me that I have never done since I met him. Example, I don't lift heavy things. I don't carry waters. But when I came down here to Nigeria, I started carrying packs of water. I will carry 5 packs of water. I'll carry 4 packs of water. At one point in time, I broke down and I started crying. I have been, I bottled up everything. I didn't want to speak on it. I was doing like odeshi. But when the reality faced me like this, hit me for face, I knew it was game over. So that was how I broke down in tears. And then I just started crying. People say, madam, what is going on? I said, they just called me that my mother had died. The thing is, my mother had died since 2003. So it's been ages, 22 years ago since my mother died. And I lied because I didn't want to explain the situation to them in the market because I saw myself lifting heavy things. Now, way back in diaspora, we do groceries together. So anything water, anything lifting, I don't do it. All my job is to cook and take care of the children. The rest, my husband will sort it out. But over here, I find myself doing all of those things, and it wasn't easy for me whatsoever, particularly with the school stuff, now that they're about to be in school. Let's take a look at the second question that I would like to answer. The person said, life in abroad and in Nigeria, which do you think it is better? So I would say this is my personal opinion. You don't have to agree whatsoever. But the thing is, there is life in Nigeria. There is life in Nigeria. I just need you to see it for yourself. Jaye dey here. How many rich men, Nigerian rich men, are living in diaspora? All of them live here and take vacation abroad because that's how it's supposed to be. That's first thing first. We don't, it's because of the situation we find ourselves in. That's how we feel like, okay, we need to cross over to look for greener pasture. But because of the situation we find ourselves in, example, some people are relocating because of the security. Some people are relocating because of, whatever reason, for medical reasons or whatnot. So people are relocating for different purposes. But for me, abroad is not for me again. You would never see me applying for visa again. The visa I will apply for is for vacation and vacation only. When I go, I return. You will never see me spending 1 year, talk less of 7 years, in another man's land. I have come back to Nigeria. I am enjoying myself and I am here to stay. If not because of those basic things that we lack in Nigeria, trust me, a whole lot of people want to relocate back home. A whole lot of people want to relocate back home. But because of all of these things, they would rather stay back, miss home, and just take it in. But for me, Nigeria, I buy. So my personal opinion is that no place like home. I would prefer Nigeria more than abroad. But it doesn't, I'm not discouraging you not to go. I am not discouraging you. You go. Experience it yourself. Everybody's story are different. Let's move on to the third one. The person said, how is life in Abuja generally? Okay, I can't complain because bro, those Hausa people, they are actually very, very amazing. In my other video, I talked about how peaceful the city is, regardless of the population. It is still very much peaceful. People follow order here. People respect themselves over here. People mind their business over here. The food, they are very cheap compared to other big cities that I've lived in, particularly in Lagos. In a recent video that Chef Chi made, or Chef T made, I saw her pricing chicken for 25,000 naira. But over here, you would get a chicken for 17k, at most 18. So I would say food here are very, very cheap compared to other big cities. And also the houses are spacious. I love it over here. I am here to stay. I am here to raise my children in Abuja, and I'm not going back whatsoever. So it's for me though. It's for me. So I like life in Abuja, particularly when you live in the city. Yeah, it happens. Hi, Gloria, my Isha sister. Hi, how are you and the kids? I have a few questions. Do you plan on having a career? Did your husband agree for you to relocate, or was it your decision? 3, if you have opportunity to relocate to Europe or other Western countries, will you relocate immediately or wait for it sometimes? So I think I have answered this question about relocating. I am not leaving Nigeria again, except I want to go for vacation. If you are inviting me for vacation, I would come. But if you are inviting me to relocate and start all over in a strange land, never. It's a big fat no for me. Actually, my mission was to go to Malaysia 1 year and return. So I met my husband and things went this far. So for me, abroad has never really been my thing. I stayed and endured it because of my husband and because I was having children at that point. So right now, for my husband, he did not bring the idea. I brought the idea because I was tired. I was tired. I was stressed. The frustration came in when I had my second born. No help whatsoever. I don't have time for myself. I would stay and sit in one place doing the same thing constantly. I started adding too much weight. No movement whatsoever. That was where the frustration came from. So we talked about it and we planned about it for so long. This year, I would say I'm going. But when I think about how I will miss my husband, I will sit back. I will not go. So this year was actually like the final straw for me. I'd be like, I have to face my fear once and for all. And that's what I did. Now, talking about the career, I cannot put all of those things online. I do have my plans and I would like to execute them before I talk about it or even show it to anybody. Let's move on to the next question. So this person said, my question would be that what state city in Nigeria would you recommend for family relocating back to Nigeria? Second, what would be the important thing one needs to do before relocating with their family and after? So for me, like I said, Abuja is one for you because it is abroad, away from abroad. There is no noise pollution over here. The roads, they are wide, they are good. Everybody minds their business. Now let's take a look at what you need to do before you relocate back home. The first thing for me is to do everything from diaspora down to this place. Secondly, I would advise you vaccinate your children. I did that because right now there is catarrh and flu, but we don't have it because of the vaccination. Even if you don't believe in vaccine, try to do it. Also, I made the mistake and I don't want you to make the mistake. Now, there is something we call traveler's diarrhea. There is a medicine that we use to cure it. So if you can get it, you will get it and bring it into the country. What you do is you will empty one sachet into a bottle of water and then you drink it first thing in the morning, so that when you eat any Nigerian food, you will not be in the toilet for 2 weeks like it did us. To the point I had to take my children to the hospital. So what you need to do, vaccine your children, do everything from abroad. If you need to buy anything, pay for them. When you get here, ship them down to your house. Secondly, that diarrhea, that traveler's diarrhea is real. So you take care of it first thing first before you even book your ticket or come down to Nigeria. So we have places in Abuja that we actually recommend. We have Life Camp, we have Jabi, we have Lugbe, we have where is it called? We have Wuse. So you can try all of those places. This is where it is happening in Abuja. But if you are extremely rich, you know where to go. We have Asokoro, Kantape Extension, we have Guzampe, we have all of those places. So guys, that's legit everything that I want to talk about in today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. As usual, I'll see you guys in my next one. Till then, remain blessed and remain safe. Bye bye.